Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing great. My dear children, did you hear all the stories that is already been narrated? I am asking you this question because today's story is based on Abraham, and I had already uploaded the story on Abraham, God's good friend. Those who have not listened to that story, please do listen. And today's title of the story is God Test Abraham's Faith. Now, my dear kids, can you see what Abraham is doing there? He has a knife in his hand, right? And what is he going to do? He's going to kill his son. And why would he do that? Before getting into it, let's see how Abraham and Sarah got their son. Remember, in my last story, Abraham being God's friend, I told you there that God promised that one day Abraham would be blessed as the father of a big nation. But how could it be? He was already 99 years old, and how can he become the father of a big nation? Now, my dear children, nothing seems impossible to God, right? And because Abraham and Sarah were so old, Abraham, however, believed that God could do what seemed impossible. So what happened? After God made this promise, a whole year has passed. Now Abraham is 100 years old and Sarah 90 years. They had a baby boy called Isaac. Now children, God had kept his promise. But when Isaac was grown older, Jehovah God tested Abraham's faith. How? One day, he appeared before Abraham and called him, Abraham. And Abraham answered, Here I am. Then God told him, Take your son, your only son Isaac, and go to the mountain that I am going to show you. There, kill your son and offer him as a sacrifice. My dear children, how sad those words would have made Abraham. Because Abraham loved his son very much. He got a son when he was very old, and now God is going to kill him. Remember, God had promised that Abraham's children would live in the land of Canaan. But how could that happen if Isaac was dead? Abraham did not understand that. But my children, Abraham still obeyed God. Now, when he got to the mountain, what did Abraham do? He tied up Isaac very tightly and put him on the altar that he built. Then he took out his knife to kill his son. But when he was about to kill his son, God's angel called him, Abraham, Abraham. And Abraham answered, Here I am, your servant. Don't hurt the boy or do anything to him, God said. Now I know that you have faith in me, because you have not held back your son, and your only one from me. I am pleased with your service. What a great faith Abraham had in God, isn't it, my children? He believed that nothing was impossible. And Jehovah God could even raise Isaac from the dead. But my children, it was not really God's will for Abraham to kill Isaac. So what did God do? He caused a sheep to get caught in some nearby bush. And he told Abraham to sacrifice that lamb instead of his son. How did you like today's story? And what can we learn from today's story? Yes, we can learn that we should also have faith as our father Abraham. He knew that nothing was impossible by God. Hence, whatever God had given him, he was pleased enough to give back to God. Now, my children, we also should be like Abraham, perfect in faith and love God immensely and give him back whatever he gives to us. Hence, we will be blessed in this world itself. My dear children, until I come up with a next beautiful story, do stay safe and healthy. Your loving Bensi Auntie. Bye. Take care.